You can bet your bottom dollar. Great programming coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Stand by. Hold on. Talk at its finest, coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. In about 2 minutes, stand by. We know what guys are talking about. Stand by. A great show coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. In about 30 seconds. Stand by. Don't go away. Stop. If they're talking about it at the barbershop, we're talking about it here on SME. Great show coming up in about 30 seconds. Don't go away. Stand by. It's time. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Another great product on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yeah!
Mic check, mic check. Yes. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Marcus Harper, and you are listening to the Marcus Harper Podcast. Yes. Pew, 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 pew. Let's go. Yes. Now, before we get started, I gotta take a moment and thank God, because without him, there is no me. I want to take a quick moment for my cousin. Got a little accident out on the West Coast. Prayers up for you, cuz. Life is good. Believe that. All right. We got that out of the way. Hello, good peoples. Greetings, salutations. How you? I hope everyone is doing okay out in these streets. Health is wealth. Hope everyone is healthy. Life is good. Believe that. Don't take that for granted. Yes. Hope everyone is doing okay out there. To all my new listeners, welcome. To all the first timers out there, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. If you can tell by the cover art or any previous cover arts, plural, this is a sports-centric podcast, but we are very vigilant. There are other things going on in the world. It is 2016. Got a new election coming in November. This is an election year. And speaking of election year, before we get into these sports, let me give you my final hot political take of 2016. Yes, if you haven't been around to miss these, you've been missing out. But this goes out to everyone, to the new listeners, all my new listeners, first-time listeners, my day ones, all parts in between, everybody that can hear my voice, hear me when I say this. This is the Thinking Man Show Two, by the way, to all the new listeners out there. Not man. This is the Thinking Man show, but not man, not woman. It's human. So this is the Thinking Man show. So hear me when I say this closely. To everyone out there, this is dedicated to you, to you too. Anybody that can hear this, if you take the time, hear me closely, if you take the time this election and take the time to go out there and vote, you take the time to go out there and vote, this election will end in a landslide. Yes, it will. Nothing more needs to be said. If you take the time to go vote, this election will end in a landslide. But I will also say this, we still have a lot of work to do. And I feel like the next president should not be guaranteed 8 years. And 4 years from now, when the election comes up again, I'd be willing to bring it all to the table. Everything should be able to be brought to the table if we want to extract some real change. So that's my final political take. One last thing for you. Make sure when you go in there and vote that you're not just voting for the president and the vice president. Let's try to do some research and vote for everything because all of this stuff affects us. So keep that in mind when you go down there and vote. That is all I got for you. Hope you're registered to vote. Election's coming in November. You have time. Make sure you register to vote. And yeah, you want to make it happen, vote. Definitely. All right, let's get to the sports. That's it for the political talk 2016. Let's get to the sports. You see this week's cover art. You see the title of this week's show. And I just got a question for you. Did you watch the Olympics? We took our Olympic-sized break to throw our feet up a little bit. Kids went back to school, all that good stuff. But we also took in the Olympics. If you did watch the Olympics, salute to you. If for some reason you missed the Olympics, you missed 2 weeks of pure dopeness. Absolutely. The 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil was awesome. They were absolutely awesome. From week 1 in the pool and gymnastics to week 2 with track and field and all sports in between. It really was enjoyable. Every day a star was born. You had Katie Ledecky, DC, Emily King, Lori Hernandez, New Jersey's finest. I see you, Jersey. I see you out there. You had Matt Kuchar, countless others. You had hashtag Black Girl Magic during these Olympics. You know about Simone Biles, Simone Emanuel in the pool, Tori Bowie, Felix Jones, Clarissa Shields, Michelle Carter. Look up some of these people. These were all people that absolutely got down during the Olympics. It was a sight to see, man. It was thoroughly enjoyable. A lot of history went down. Can we talk about it a little bit? Week 1 with the pool, you have Michael Phelps, now has 23 gold medals, 28 medals in total. I believe that's the number. The most decorated Olympian ever. Only way these records will be matched is by someone in the pool. But props to him. And the impact of Michael Phelps on U.S. swimming, you are seeing it already. He is still in the pool, and you're seeing all of these kids 8 years ago, 12 years ago that were 6, 9 years old, watch them do this. Now they're in their teenage years. Now they're in their early 20s, and they are there. The U.S. dominated in the pool. A lot of the U.S. swimmers talked about how they had a picture, a poster of Michael Phelps on their walls as kids. And yes, the U.S. swimming, that was very impressive. It was amazing to watch. Big ups to Simone Emanuel. And then just do swim too. Absolutely. And then you get over to the gymnastics and the final 5. The women, Allie Raisman, Gabby Douglas, Madison, Lori Hernandez, Simone Biles, all of the above, the final 5, I think that's what they called themselves, the final 5, Marta Caroli's final squad. We saw what they did. They all were able to get a gold medal in the team event. Simone Emanuel left with, 5 gold medals and a bronze, something crazy like that. Props to them. Then you take it to the track and field, and I don't know what other adjectives can be used to describe Usain Bolt. At this point, he is the fastest man in the world, no doubt about it. I think one of the best stories I saw regarding him, everybody was tuned into the races when he ran, was the fact that, one, he's one of the biggest stars in the world. Found that to be interesting and not surprising because, sometimes we get in the scope of just what's going on in America, but I could see that in the world, one of the biggest stars in the world. The fact that he's 6'4", 6'5", running these races and the times he puts up, you see that he's in a different class. Those guys are running and they are diving and they're sticking their nose out to get there, and he is pulling up at the end of these races. And they talked about the times that he was putting up are literally 25 to 30 years ahead of their time. We're not supposed to see speeds like this with the evolution of man until another 5-6 Olympics. That is wild. That is absolutely wild. Usain Bolt, fastest man in the world. He pulls off the 3 for 3 again. He wins the 100. He wins the 200. He wins the 4x. He is now 9 for 9 in the races he's ran in the Olympics. He's never been beaten out there on the track. And again, I can't come up with enough words to describe Usain Bolt, fastest man in the world. Big ups to him. Elaine Thompson from Jamaica. She is the fastest woman in the world. She won the 100 and the 200. Jamaica has the crown when it comes to sprinters, for sure. But outside of that, when we took care of business on the track, the U.S. Olympic team took business on the track. Allyson Felix, cannot go without talking about her. She is now the most decorated women's track and field Olympian ever. Allyson Felix has a new name on the show. Her name is Queen Mother. Yes, she is. The way Allyson Felix handled both victory and defeat and all the trials and all the bumps and everything they went through, they had quite the week on the track and field, or she had quite the week in track and field. But the grace and the elegance in which she handles both victory and the losses, that is very admirable. That is something we could all learn from. Hope Solo, take a note from the Queen Mother, Allyson Felix, the way she handles things. Cam, take a note. Look at the way she handled things. I was very, very impressed with Allyson Felix. Shouts out to you, Queen Mother. I'm sure Allyson Felix went home and had herself an Al Roker stir your drink moment in behind closed doors where I know I do every day. For those of you that missed out, if you have not seen the video clip of Al Roker on the Today Show, I believe it was in the morning, talking with Billy, I can't think of his name right now, but talking with the other hosts regarding Ryan Lochte, and we'll get to him in just 1 minute. But yes, if you have not seen this video clip, I think we all have our Al Roker stir your drink moment where it's just not getting through, fam. You get this, hey, we may just need to agree to disagree on this because it's clear. Yeah, oh man, that was funny. But yes, I really appreciate the way Allyson Felix went about her business the entire week. Such professionalism, such grace. She did a lot of interviews. She was clearly one of the athletes that the U.S. had chosen to be one of the spokespersons for the team. So she did it all. Props to her. Again, man, it was really, really great. The Olympics were great. Don't sleep on Katie Ledecky. I think she picked up about 6 medals. Again, one of those Michael Phelps family tree.